Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to completely dismantle that incredibly stressful, save a giant pile of money mindset. And instead, I'm going to show you a 3-asset blueprint to actually replace your salary. You know, for decades, we've all been taught to just optimize for this shrinking pool of savings, but today, we're going to completely change that mental model.
Here's the agenda for today. We're looking at a true architectural blueprint for your financial life. We'll cover the broken bucket problem, Pipe 1, real estate, Pipe 2, dividend stocks, Pipe 3, tax optimization, and finally, the perfect pipe sequence.
Okay, let's jump right into Section 1, the broken bucket problem. We really have to start by looking at the brutal reality of the traditional retirement playbook. I want you to look at this number, $185,000. According to the Federal Reserve, this is the median total retirement savings for Americans aged 55 to 64. Now remember, that is not an annual income. That is literally the entire pile. If you've been working since your 20s, you've likely earned somewhere between $1.5 and $2.5 million in your lifetime. So holding on to just $185,000 of that? Yeah, that's nowhere near enough to survive on using the old rules of retirement. But honestly, the problem isn't just that people aren't saving enough. The real problem is the math we're all told to rely on.
So, since about 1994, the famous 4% rule has basically been the bedrock of retirement planning. You save 25 times your expenses, you withdraw 4% a year, and you just kind of hope you don't run out of money before you die. Sounds okay, right? Well, recent Morningstar data shows the safe withdrawal rate for early retirees, if we're looking at a 40-year horizon under current market conditions, is actually down to 3.1%. On a $50,000 annual budget, that tiny decimal drop literally creates a massive $350,000 gap in what you thought you needed.
And that brings us to the absolutely crucial point of all this. We have got to stop optimizing for a leaking bucket. A bucket is just a finite pool you draw from, right? You sit there watching your balance sheet shrink while you pray it outlasts you. What you actually need is a pipe, a continuous, durable income stream that flows every single month, whether you are working or not. If you build it right, your bucket actually keeps growing even while you spend from it. So let's look at the assets that actually build these pipes.
Moving on to Section 2, Pipe 1, real estate. Let's see how a warehouse supervisor named Marcus actually built durable income. Okay, so Marcus, who was making $61,000 a year, went out and bought a duplex. After paying his mortgage, his taxes, and fully funding his maintenance reserves, he cleared $560 in net cash flow every single month. Now, his coworkers thought he was completely crazy for deploying $34 grand in capital for just over $500 a month. But here's the thing. Marcus wasn't buying for a quick flip, and he wasn't relying on magical housing appreciation. He conservatively financed for immediate day-one cash flow, and guess what? By his 4th property, he had replaced 75% of his salary.
It's this unglamorous math that separates durable wealth from a ticking time bomb. To build a real estate pipe that doesn't just lead you straight to bankruptcy, you need some incredibly strict engineering rules. First, never leverage above 70%. Second, ensure the property actually cash flows on day one using real-world expenses, not those optimistic spreadsheet projections. And critically, you have to maintain a 1% annual maintenance reserve. Because when the HVAC blows out in the middle of July, it shouldn't be a massive crisis. It should just be a planned expense you absorb without any drama.
All right, let's transition to Section 3, Pipe 2, dividend stocks. This asset solves a massive psychological burden that affects even the absolute best savers out there.
Picture Sandra for a second. She's 63, she has a completely paid-off house, and 900 grand sitting in a 401k. By all accounts, she did everything right. Yet, she is quietly anxious every single day. Why? Because every month, she withdraws $3,500 to live on, and she has to physically watch her balance decline. Withdrawing from a shrinking balance sheet causes this daily anxiety. It's like holding a shrinking ice cube in a warm room, because she knows she is vulnerable to one very specific, totally invisible threat.
That invisible threat is called sequence of returns risk. Let's say 2 people retire with $1 million and average the exact same returns over 20 years. One can die rich and the other can go completely broke by 74. How? The only difference is the order of the good and bad years. If a huge market crash lands in year 2 of your retirement, you're forced to sell off a massive number of shares at rock-bottom prices just to buy groceries. And those shares? They're permanently gone. They literally can never recover.
And this is exactly where Pipe 2 comes in. Enter the dividend aristocrats. These are S&P 500 companies with a documented history of increasing their dividend payouts for at least 25 consecutive years. Now, these stocks generally yield somewhere around 2.5% to 3%, but historically they've actually grown that payout at around 8.1% a year, which far outpaces inflation. But the absolute best part? They sidestep sequence of returns risk almost entirely.
Because here is the real magic of this pipe. Think back to the 2008 financial crisis, the 2020 crash, or the 2022 rate hikes. During all those events, the paper net worth of these dividend aristocrat companies definitely dropped. You would have absolutely seen your portfolio balance decline on your screen. But, and this is absolutely crucial, they maintained or even raised their payouts. The stocks fell, but the income didn't. Your cash deposit would have arrived on schedule anyway. Which means a market crash becomes an event you simply observe on the news, not a crisis you have to survive by selling off your shares.
So let's look at how Sandra actually fixes her anxiety. By restructuring just $250,000 of her portfolio into low-cost dividend ETFs like the ProShares NOBL fund, she suddenly has $520 a month in pure, predictable income flowing in. Add in a short bond ladder to cover her near-term expenses, and she can just leave the rest to compound. Now her brain registers steady deposits arriving, instead of just withdrawals leaving. She has effectively replaced her anxiety with a manageable, self-constructed pension.
Okay, let's dive into Section 4, Pipe 3, Tax Optimization. This one acts almost like a magic trick for your retirement math.
Look at this number right here, $98,900. This is the 2026 IRS threshold for married couples filing jointly, and for single filers, it's $49,450. If your taxable income stays below this line, your long-term capital gains tax rate drops to exactly 0%. Zero. Literally zero. And this isn't some shady offshore loophole. This is literally the standard U.S. tax code sitting right there in plain view.
Let's see how this builds a massive advantage using a guy named David. So, David needs $68,000 a year to live on. He pulls $15,000 from his rental properties, which, by the way, is largely offset by depreciation deductions. Then, he pulls $48,360 from his taxable brokerage account as long-term capital gains. And to top it off, he pulls $12,000 completely tax-free from his Roth IRA. Because of this exact account structuring, his taxable income stays safely under that $98,900 threshold. He generates $68,000 of real spending power, but his estimated federal income tax bill is only about $1,900.
So what does this all mean for you? The profound impact of David's strategy is that utilizing the 0% capital gains bracket fundamentally shrinks your required portfolio size. If you originally thought you needed $75,000 in gross income just to cover $60,000 in actual spending because of, say, a 20% effective tax rate, you need a massive portfolio. But by utilizing the 0% bracket, your required gross income drops. Knowing the single tax code number reduces the total savings you need to safely retire by roughly $380,000. It effectively shrinks the entire portfolio size you need by up to 20%.
All right, Section 5, the perfect pipe sequence. Now that we have all our materials, real estate, dividends, and tax architecture, let's see how this all builds together into the final structure.
You know, the sequence actually matters just as much as the assets themselves. Order is absolutely crucial here. You absolutely must build your liquid portfolio first. Max your 401k, build the Roth, and establish a taxable brokerage. That liquidity acts as your foundation and safety net. Only then do you move to step 2 and take on the leverage of real estate, because if a property sits vacant, your liquid portfolio protects you. Finally, you transition that portfolio into dividend income mode, but really only after you've allowed the reinvestment compounding to run for at least a decade. If you try to build real estate without liquid cash first, you are literally one bad tenant away from a forced sale.
So what are your next steps? Don't wait to operationalize this. First, sit down and map your actual retirement spending line by line to define your goal as a monthly income target, not just a net worth number. And hey, don't forget to account for those massive pre-Medicare healthcare gaps if you're planning to retire early. Second, if you don't have the expertise to pick individual stocks, just use low-cost dividend ETFs like Vanguard Dividend Appreciation or ProShares NOBL. And third, take some time this week to map your future withdrawals against those 0% capital gains thresholds.
I really want to leave you with this final, critical thought. Right now, if you rely entirely on a paycheck, you are running a single point of failure operation. One layoff, one health event, one company reorganization, and the water stops completely. Are you willing to remain that vulnerable? It is time to stop obsessing over filling a leaky bucket. It's time to build your pipes.